Hello, my name is Brian Dorich. I'm with Thermo Fisher Scientific. I'm here to talk to you today about cell maintenance for the ACE 350 and 150 extraction instrumentation. So let's talk about cell bodies first. After a sample cell is extracted, the best thing to do is to take off the top and bottom cell caps and use the filter insertion tool for the 34, 66, and 100 ml cell sizes and just push the contents of the cell into a trash can. In this case, I just pushed it into a beaker, but you do usually push that into a trash can. And there's a very, very minimal surface area here, so this is going to be fairly easy to clean. You can use a test tube brush now to clean the inner surface of the extraction cell. Some people will put these into a dishwasher. My warning to you about putting them in a dishwasher is you do not want the cell bodies to bang against each other. Reason being is you don't want the threads here to get damaged or the top beveled edge at the very ends of the cell. Reason being is the beveled edges at the very ends of the cell create a seal. That's what creates the indentation in the peak seal, and if these are gouged at all, that will create a leak point where solvent will leak past the peak seal and you'll get a hydrocarbon vapor alarm. So definitely you want to make sure you separate the cell bodies from each other if you're going to sonicate them or put them in a dishwasher. Typically a test tube brush with a little bit of soap and water will work fine, and a water rinse at the end. For the caps though, you do have a very porous surface area with the 10 micron frit. If you were going to get some type of contamination, it would probably be from that frit just holding onto a compound. So what I would do with the cell caps, leave them assembled, but then place them in solvent, the solvent that you're extracting your samples with, and sonicate them in a sonic bath with the solvent you're extracting with. Typically that will be done for probably an hour or two for a thorough cleaning. You only want to take the cell caps apart if you're ready to replace the peak seal in the cell cap. Otherwise, the orientation of the peak seal will be lost and it will actually leak on you even more if you always continue to disassemble the cell caps and clean the cell caps after each extraction by disassembling the caps. Typically you can just sonicate or soak the cell caps in the solvent you're extracting with for thorough cleaning. Let's talk about just the types of materials you can use inside the ACE cell to disperse your samples real quick. There's two different types here. We have ACE Prep DE, the diatomaceous earth material, and also sand. The nice thing about the Hydromatrix is that this material will absorb water, a slight amount of water. The sand will not absorb liquid at all. The ACE Prep DE, you can adjust the particle size. It's pelletized diatomaceous earth, but you can also grind it to a very fine powder to match a sample type that is for, say, a powder type material. You can get the diatomaceous earth to match that type of sample consistency. Whereas the sand, you cannot grind this in any way. It's very, very hard. The recommended mesh size for sand is 20 to 30 mesh. If you go any finer, the sand can actually get into the threads of the extraction cell, and when you try and screw the cell cap on, it'll be very, very hard. You won't be able to get it on or off. If you're able to get it on, you might not be able to get it off because of the oven compression that compresses the cell caps. So just to recap, you want to use soap and water and a test tube brush. That's the best way to clean the extraction cells. The cell caps, you want to leave them assembled and either sonicate them in the solvent you're extracting with or soak them in the solvent that you're extracting with through the ACE 350 or 150. If you disassemble the cell caps, you will want to then change the peak seal because the orientation of the peak seal will be lost and it could cause a leak point in your extraction. So you'll get a hydrocarbon vapor alarm.